Oh, I love this song.
Hey Greg, what are you doing?
I'm just downloading a new song.
Don't you hate how iTunes has raised its prices?
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really matter anyways because I'm downloading the song for free.
How do you do that? It costs 99 cents.
It's this site called LimeWire. It allows you to download music and videos for free.
Well, that sounds pretty illegal to me.
Oh yeah, it is illegal, but I mean, I don't really care because the chances of being caught are smaller than 1 in a million.
But it's still wrong, right?
Trust me, it's not a big deal. Everyone does it.
But if you don't pay for music, then artists won't make any money, and there will be no incentive to make new music.
That's completely false. Actually, like the bottom 75% of artists actually benefit from file sharing because it's a way to show more people their music.
I didn't know this. What about the top 25% of artists? It's unfair that they don't make any money, even though they create music that millions of people listen to every day.
Well, the top 25% of artists still make millions of dollars off of concerts, and most of the profit on their CDs goes to the record companies.
But if no one's buying CDs, then the record companies make no money.
Well, it's funny that you should say that. In China, 99% of music is bought through illegal download, and because of this, the record companies have decided to create new websites with their music available free of charge.
Well, that sounds unfair for the record companies because they make no money if no one pays for their music.
Actually, the record companies are still making a ton of profit from the people who pay to advertise on their site.
That sounds like a good idea. So why aren't there thousands of those sites across the country?
Well, I can't be positive, but I'm pretty sure that it is because most people are still think that they still see downloading as indirect robbery instead of like a promotional tool.
That's interesting. So if music downloading is actually beneficial to the music industry, why are people still being harshly punished?
In the first place, piracy seems like just such a convenient crime that many people don't know that it is illegal. And until there is a decided upon definition of what is okay to download and such, the government and music industry will continue to make examples of people by forcing them to pay unrealistic fines and to serve lengthy amounts of time in prison.
Why would they do this for such an insignificant crime, though?
Well, the record companies and the government are frustrated by their inability to catch the majority of illegal downloaders, and they think people will stop file sharing out of fear of getting caught.
Well, are people file sharing less then?
I mean, a little bit, but not because they're afraid of getting caught. Instead, they fear that these programs will give their computers viruses.
Well, that seems like great news for the record companies. Now they could maybe lower their prices to keep their new customers.
Well, that would seem like the logical thing to do. But instead of trying to appease their new clients, record companies have raised their prices to the point where they've gotten sued for jacking up the prices on their products. And instead of going to court, they chose to settle for $67 million. Also, new file sharing sites are being made that don't cause viruses, which might cause people who are fed up with the record companies to switch over to file sharing.
This whole situation seems really unfair to the artists who just want to make their music for a living, but the record companies keep pushing away their fans.
Well, actually, some of the top 25% of artists are still in favor of file sharing because they are also mad at the record companies for their unfair prices.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails telling his fans to steal his new CD after the record companies priced it at $21.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. And I'm sure he's not the only musician who has ever spoken out against this topic.
Oh well, I guess this issue isn't as black as white as record companies may want us to believe. I think that music downloading should be legal. I mean, it's more beneficial than not, and from a utilitarian moral standpoint, it seems like a sound argument to say that music downloading is moral.
I always thought it should be legalized, but can you explain this more?
Sure, do you know what utilitarianism is?
Oh yeah, it's like the idea that the only thing that matters is the happiness or unhappiness resulting from the consequences of a certain situation, and that everyone's happiness counts the same, right?
Yeah, so if we look at the situation through a utilitarian standpoint, it seems that file sharing should be legalized since it will create the greatest amount of happiness for the most people.
I mean, the record companies will benefit from the profit that they make off the website, and the downloader won't have to worry about being caught and will be able to enjoy higher quality music, and most of the musicians will be able to broaden their fan base.
But it seems like the record companies would be happier if people would just buy their CDs.
Yeah, but for the millions of people who have to overpay for music, their happiness would overmatch the record company's desire for more profit.
What are the possible solutions for this injustice, though?
I mean, I don't really know. It's such a widespread activity.
Yeah, so definitely the extreme punishments of today should be stopped. And even though it's beneficial to the music industry, clearly the copyright owners and the citizens must think of an idea that would benefit both parties.
Yeah, I mean, how about the record companies just follow the examples of the Chinese and create a website with all their music on it? That would create profit for the music industry and would provide higher quality, worry-free music for the fans.
Also, I think it would be fair for the customers to pay a small fee, like maybe $1 or $2 a month, because if the record companies provide all their songs for free, then the loss of revenue would be too severe.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a viable idea. Not too extreme, not too demanding. Like, why not?